Into the breach. Welcome to Combat Mission Black Sea and this after action report. My opponent is Ringking. The scenario is called Into the Breach, designed by Imperial Grunt on a map by S. Burke. Length of battle is 1 hour 20 minutes. Operational context. Elements of a Russian motorized rifle battalion from the 20th Motorized Rifle Brigade conducted a surprise night river crossing of the Dnieper southeast of Kremenchuk and is maneuvering to threaten the War Eagle's southern flank. Mission briefing: HHQ War Eagle Squadron Guards and 2nd Cavalry Regiment's southern flank to retain key terrain and protect regimental trains and corps logistics assets. B. Comanche troop counterattacks in zone to defeat lead echelon of Russian 20th Motorized Rifle Brigade as they attempt to exploit the night river crossing of the Dnieper River. We start with 1 platoon. HQ and attached forces follow in 5 minutes, as well as another platoon reinforces at the 10-minute mark. The village is at the moment undefended. Enemy units approaching from the north. We first have to cease to control the bridges and river crossings to secure the area until the following forces arrive. A detailed analysis of the terrain and weather is useful in identifying armored or mechanized avenues of approach and to evaluate them from the enemy's viewpoint. Because weather significantly affects the trafficability of terrain, a ground reconnaissance is needed to obtain current detailed information. If possible, tank and motorized rifle units will avoid terrain or obstacles that can stop or impede their movement. Terrain factors that restrict armored or mechanized vehicle mobility due to their mobility characteristics, which is true in real life as well as in a simulation. Factors are walls or embankments, ditches, water obstacles, swampy or very rough, rocky terrain, built-up areas where vehicles are restricted to moving on confined roads. To the terrain. The terrain is cut in half by a water obstacle. In the center is the main objective, the village Shikalivka. 3 bridges and 2 water crossings can be utilized to cross the river line. In the zone of interest we find quality infrastructure, a dense network of roads enabling high-speed avenues of approach. The village Shikalivka is situated along the rail line, which cuts the terrain from east to west. The village is center to the road network. Dominated is the urban terrain by a religious establishment in the central part and a dominating elevation in the eastern outskirts. The ground is muddy and wet. We have approximately 1 hour 20 minutes to succeed in fulfilling the given task. Advancing to secure the bridges, conduct a hasty attack in one continuation of one decisive combat operation. We will encounter armored and mechanized forces. Our organic anti-tank asset is the FGM-148 Javelin. The Javelin man-portable fire and forget anti-tank missile. The tandem warhead has a lethal range of 2 to 2.5 thousand meters. In general, leaders should position javelins to engage from the flank whenever possible. The javelin's soft launch capability allows it to be fired from inside restricted spaces with less observable signature and low level of suppression of other personnel and the gunner. A short word about the deployment of these anti-tank assets. According to the manual, javelins should be positioned in pairs so they can support each other in open terrain positioned to achieve overlapping sectors. Mutual support prevents the enemy from isolating and concentrating on one sector without being subjected to fire from another. We will utilize 2 bridges to advance and initiate decisive combat operation. With the use of smoke assets, we obscure the area where the infantry dismounts one terrain feature from the objective. First contacts and successful engagements are reported. In the east, a mechanized enemy formation with a strong armored element is reported, which takes position at bridges number 24 with reported first attempts to advance across the bridge. One team, while advancing into the village, came under devastating enemy fire, surprised by an BTR-82 in ambush position and its deadly 30mm gun. Dual-fed with HE, frag and APD-ST rounds, maximum range 2000 meter during the day, a formidable weapon. As the Javelin's primary targets are armored vehicles, specifically tanks, understanding armored tactics and the characteristics of armored vehicles helps recognize the terrain where these vehicles are most likely to be employed. As stated before, the quality road network and the ground condition form our decision. Back to the game. We conduct a hasty attack out of a movement to contact of our forces, as we seek to exploit a combat power advantage and preempt actions of my opponent. While our forces advance at the village, our right wide open flank is secured. Along the possible high-speed avenue of approach, mechanized forces could pose a sudden threat.
Shot. Over.
With the reinforcements, the attack across the water obstacle gets momentum.
Shot. Over. Shot. Out. Shot. Over.
The reinforcing engineer section arrives on an M1132 engineer squad vehicle. The specialized engineering capabilities of this vehicle are not currently simulated in Combat Mission Black Sea.
Fire perfect. Over.
In the assault, the formation utilizes the Striker Mk19 40mm automatic grenade launcher and the M2.50 caliber heavy machine gun to maximal effect.
Roger. Fire perfect. Fire perfect. Over.
In the early phase of the operation, failure to synchronize the incoming preparatory fire with the maneuvering element in close proximity of the expanding zone of control leads to friendly fire incident and casualties. Good progress is observed in the execution of the given task, as first footholds and strong points are occupied. Conducting a flanking maneuver along the western outskirts of the village to isolate the enemy and establish fire control. Enemy pockets of resistance in the eastern parts are isolated and engaged.
Attack position. Ingressing to target.
At attack position. Ingress to target. Ready to engage. Roger, clear. Attack position. Ingress to target. Ready to engage. Roger, clear.
There are only stragglers in the adjacent woods left, which are not part of our mission, so we just wait and let the enemy artillery use up their ammunition. So, goodbye, thanks for watching und auf Wiedersehen.
Ready to engage.